which makes us very happy as it's kind of an idealistic help from German government, which doesn't mean that we're getting supported financially, but more we're getting very, very good advice, and we're getting, yeah, shit. But like we're getting very good advice, and also it's very, very nice for us for promotion reasons, as like whenever we appear somewhere, we can just like put the logo of the German government everywhere. So I just want to talk a little bit about my background. Actually, I started to be a photographer, and in the last years of university, there was a DK1 coming out. And for me, I just met a friend who had a DK1, and I tried it out. And after this night, for me, was pretty clear this is what I need to do. So for my bachelor degree, I decided on to write my thesis on VR, and I was dealing with human perception and like the interface of human perception and virtual reality. And for my graduation project, I did a short movie in 360. I was not educated enough to put something up in 3 months that is highly programmed and very sophisticated. So I experimented a little bit with 360 video, and I actually got finalist in the Vision Summit Awards in 2016 earlier this year, in the AR/VR summits in LA. So I traveled there, and it was like a very big surprise that HTC gave everyone on this convention HTC Vive. And for me, this was because after I tried Oculus Rift and after I tried Samsung Gear VR, the room scale with Vive for me was kind of like a second revelation somehow, because I could actually walk in it, and it was fantastic. So what I did is I was coming home, and with the rest of my money that I didn't spend on the trip to the USA, I bought myself a very powerful computer. I just put my iMac in the storage room, and I didn't leave my apartment for a very, very long time. So, and I tried everything that was out there at this point. But when I then got into communication with my friends, they wouldn't even know what VR is and why I'm so happy. And they would not even ever tried to wear a headset. So what I did, every house guest that I had, they had to have a showcase. And also what I did very, very cool VR parties. Corinne was there most of the times. And also because I felt, okay, people have to wait very long on my VR parties until they get to experience VR, I asked a friend to have a second Vive at home. And you can imagine I'm having a two-room Berlin apartment. To make all the furniture disappear is kind of hard. To like set up 2 rooms for 2 VR experiences. But still, like the first experience of my friends who are not in this VR filter bubble, who come from very different backgrounds, was pretty amazing. And now I can reveal it, like having these VR parties in my home was not just for fun, it was also about research, how people behave when they have no idea what this medium is about. So I found out several stuff. First of all, people have been had this wow moment, and they knew, okay, I can walk around, and they moved very heavily, they tried out different stuff. But after they've been in the classes for a while, they just moved in like 1 meter average circle, because it was more comfortable to beam themselves around rather than really walk. Okay, there's the wall, beam again, walk, there's the wall again. And so in the end, they just stayed like in the circle from 1 meter. What I always do when people are new to VR, I'm giving them the invisible woman hug. So they're wearing the glasses and I hug them, and this really freaks people out. So it's very funny. Also, what I should have done actually is to record a little YouTube video of all the people trying to touch things or lean against a virtual table that is not there, almost falling over. So I should have done it, I didn't do that. Nevertheless, like from all the experience I made with people coming to these parties and people from these showcases, I actually had to make a list of weaknesses of VR as a home entertainment. So first of all, I think most of you who are in the VR business, you already know, and you know, still there is a very low knowledge about VR outside this filter bubble, outside these meetups, it's outside the conferences, outside the actually, the scene. Again, the accessibility is very, very low. For me, it was hard to buy a new computer to make the Wi-Fi actually run. It's like, it has low accessibility. It's not very convenient, so I really have to make my apartment a free space to make it run, to really experience it. It's not easy, it's not just a leisure thing I just do for an afternoon. Again, we need a lot of space, so I really have to put all my furniture away. But still, it's a lack of space. This is what I've experienced with my French, just like moving in 1 meter, because like the space you have is enough for make it freely walkable and really use the freedom of walk or move around. It is not a holistic experience, so there's no haptical feedback or no olfactory feedback. So you just actually see stuff and you hear stuff, but you cannot really interact with your environment. And again, the social aspect, all the people that have been to these VR parties, they said you should have been there with me. I was sad that you could not be there with me, experience together. So there is a lack of group experience. So still it's awesome. So I came to the conclusion that a solution for all of these issues could be location-based virtual reality. And I'm just giving you the escalation, which is hyper-reality, so-called from the Void people. They call it hyper-reality, and they say, in our hyper-reality experience, we map virtual worlds over physical spaces. Now there comes the interesting point. We're taking the virtual world and enhancing it with reality. So what they actually do is they're building physical sets, and over the physical sets, they put real-time interactive VR effects. Here's some examples for some location-based VR that is not the escalation, so it's not the void or anything. It can be dedicated experience, it can be theme parks, it can be rooms with no furniture, or it can be even more simple, just having a public space to experience VR. But so it just makes a little difference. So we're having the big scale, like the Arc is what I just talked about earlier, the Void, or we have theme parks. And I just want to say, we don't have to fly to Utah to experience the Void. Our team of Trix have just got a demo from Illusion Walk, who are based in Berlin, and we thought it was amazing. So it was really cool. We've been a multiplayer team of 5 people. We've been guided through the experience, and this was, again, a revelation for us. So our synapses are just burning about what to do there, what is actually possible there. Then we're having small-scale, location-based VR. I'm talking here about in-store and mall entertainment. I'm talking about conventions and events. I'm talking about pop-up experiences, for sure. Never forget the educational sector. And it also can be used for experience in museums and exhibitions. And this is something I just gave a talk for people that want to develop their brands and want to make their brands more perceptible and use VR to step inside the brand's world. So I researched some very nice campaigns for in-store entertainment with VR or campaigns. So maybe some of you have experienced this. This was in 2014. It was even before the hype. It was I never can say this name. Can anyone say Wrigley? You know, the chewing gum. The 5-gum experience. It was in 2014. It was at the VRBLN in Berlin, and they just put up containers. They would hang you in the containers. There would be a wind machine. Your hands would be translated into the medium. You were just like flying through the different tastes of 5-gum, which is pretty nice, I think. And then we're having, which is smaller scale, it's an experience from North Face, and actually what they do is, if you, it's an in-store entertainment. So if you choose the right jacket, they would put you on a sleigh, and you could ride with your new jacket on a sleigh with huskies. What I think is very, very amazing is the Marriott experience. What they do is they put up these tubes anywhere, and you step inside, and you get glasses on, and you can experience all the locations Marriott the hotel chain, you know, where Marriott is, and what they have also a four-dimensional effect. So when it's raining somewhere in another location, there's water coming to your head. And it's very nice because you could like look down from the sky roof terrace of all their hotels, which is pretty cool. It makes you want to go to travel, right? And then there's one from Merrill. It's a company that does hiking shoes, and what they put up is a virtual hike. So putting on the Merrill hiking shoes, you can actually walk a virtual hike, and you see the girl. She seems a little bit afraid. I think this is like small scale experience that can be very, very intriguing and cool. Also, when you think that all these all the things I just told you are kind of a futuristic thing, when you think about, okay, how can I embed this in my daily life? I just want to recommend Kurotoshi's documentary. He has just been to China and checked out all the location-based stuff over there. Just find his name on Vimeo and you will be impressed on what is going on in China. Like life is very big there, and there are so many location-based experiences popping up out of nothing. Yeah, how was it? Europe, innovation, desert, I don't know. But like from all the technological developments, like there's going to happen a lot, and there will be perceptible VR for home use, whatever. In the end, content is king. And this what leads me kind of to the background story of Trix and the project that we're doing right now. So I just want to establish that before, because of the quality of VR, the feelings of presence, we're not talking about storytelling anymore, but about story living. I really want to establish that. Please use this word, everybody. So, when we think about inspirations and origins for spatial story living, in the virtual world we're having computer games. This is pretty clear. And we can really find very good inspiration in computer games. When we're thinking about the physical world, what we're trying to combine is immersive theater. And I bet most of you don't know what immersive theater is. Please raise your hand who knows what immersive theater is. 1, 2, 3. You should really know, because immersive theater is actually VR, but just in real life. And I'm just going to show you, I really try to make it easy. Immersive theater is actually a real-life participatory role-playing game with actors. And if immersive theater is very good, you really feel like Mr. Truman in The Truman Show. So you're live into an action and you wouldn't know what is real or not, and actors are acting around you and you wouldn't know what is going on here. Or is it real or not? You don't know. So immersive theater is a very, very strong strategy that we could use for VR storytelling, because it's already spatial. It's already using the recipient's attention like very, very naturally. So coming to our project, in 2015, after my graduation, I met again a very good friend of mine, Vinnie Christiansen, and we haven't seen each other for a very long time because I was kind of busy, she was kind of busy. And when we've met again, we met each other studying photography. I was very into VR and she was very into immersive theater. And you know these nights when you sit down together and you start talking with each other and like ideas just popping up and you're like feeling very big inspiration? This is what we have, because we think that both worlds really, really belong to each other and can make a very strong combination when it's being merged. So we put up the concept for Empfänger verzogen, and this summer we started producing it. Just to say, the experience Empfänger verzogen, it actually is a physical experience where inside the physical experience you experience VR. The whole experience takes 40 minutes. There are 3 actors with you, and there's just 1 recipient. So you have to go there alone. This has several reasons. So just to try to describe what we're doing, we're having reality. You're going to our stage that we've built. We've built 60 square meters of artificial apartment. And you meet the characters of the story and you're really talking to them. Then there is a transition to VR. The actors will freeze in the position they just had. You will put the headset on and you will be immersed in the same environment as you've been before. But in the virtual reality, there's a twist and there's stuff happening that could not happen in reality. And then you take off, at a certain point, you take off the glasses again and you're back to reality. And right away you can talk with the actor or with the character, what you've seen, what you've perceived, and really have to deal with that. We built a mobile stage. It is made out of wood walls. We're having 60 square meters, just to give you a little floor plan. Here where the VR headset is our living room. This is where the main action takes place. But we're also having a third room, which is the one where the key is. And like in a computer game, we're kind of having an end boss, aka a hidden secret of the family that you will be confronted in the end. So you come to this family and you feel they're hiding a secret of you, and it's on you to find out what it is and in the end deal with that. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen because I don't want to spoil you, should see it. I just want you to know that when you're at the end boss room, you have to make a moral decision that gives you an individual ending of your personal story, and you really have to rethink what you've seen before to make this moral decision, and yeah, let's see how every one of you behaves. So this is just a picture of the living room of our stage. We filmed in 360 video with a body under it because we think that it's very important to have kind of an anchor in the VR. There are several reasons for why we use 360 video. First of all, we started in 2015, so there was no Vive yet, and also we are triggering more senses than just seeing and hearing. But what we do, we kind of set up a 4D cinema, so you're going to be triggered haptically and olfactorily. It's kind of an immersive 4D cinema with VR. And it's like content-wise, you may think it's a horror story, but it's not. What we're doing is we're actually dealing with the social issues. Our main three topics are the social phenomenon hikikomori. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's about people who refuse to perform in reality and just being like second life in the digital and build up a new life there. We're talking about the miscommunication of digital immigrants, so my parents, and digital natives like me. So there are differences of communication that really make issues. And we're talking about escapism. So we don't want to shock you with this experience. We really want you to step out of the installation, rethink your daily conventions, rethink your daily conventions. And the main goal of this whole experience is you go out and you wouldn't know what have I experienced in reality and what have I experienced in virtual reality. I really hope to make a very intense thing you will remember for a long time. Production-wise, we're about 80% done. So we're now in the last bit of production. We can be ready beginning of next year. We're targeting February to go for a premiere, but there's no promise because there are still some things to do to this point, and we're still, as this is not our main income, it's art, right? It's art, so we cannot live from that. We're still having our own jobs, but what we're doing now is that we found in this pilot project at Empfängerverzögerung, we found so many strategies that we can use for commercialization, like what I've told you before, the in-store entertainment things, the arcades, the theme parks, and we really found some very nice strategies on how to tell really intriguing stories in spatial environments. And yeah. Thanks a lot for your attention. Hopefully I made it very quick, and I'm very happy for any question you have. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Do you have any questions?
How many people are you planning to run through that immersive 4D experience? Because if it's, I'm just calculating in my head, if it's a 40-minute experience and there's one guy watching it, where can I sign up? Like, I want to be very early on because then otherwise I'd have to wait forever.
It's really a thing about, to be honest, should I be honest?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, for the whole production, we had no budget or nothing. So if you find an intuition that helps us to pay our actors and pay all the people who are the team, and if we can really make it up, we can make it longer. For now, as we didn't find a room yet where we can show it, and if we pay from our own portemonnaies, it would be a very exclusive event. But I think we talked about it again. Like this whole project, like economically, makes no sense at all. But we knew it, and we just wanted to do it because we wanted to have a playground where we can experiment, and it's art. It has no need for commercialization. We just wanted to be researchers and explore and do stuff. And I would be very sad if it has this exclusivity. Thank you. Thanks.
At least you should film all the things happening. So doing kind of documentation, and then later you could show it on YouTube or whatever.
Actually, we have that. We have two things in mind. First of all, we're having a big brother in mind that films the stage all the time, and people from the outside can see what's going on in the inside. And secondly, I think this was Mr. Cardboard who said so. Hello. What we're also doing for promotion is we're doing kind of an interactive app that we're going to sell for mobile VR. So it would be very, very shrinked to like certain decisions. So just yes or no or something like that. But we're still having an app that you can download and pay some cents for that.
You're sort of promising that people afterwards will know what was real and what happened in VR. We haven't yet arrived at photorealistic VR yet, so I'm kind of curious how you're supposed to actually achieve this.
I told you we're doing 360 video, and we designed our own camera system. We're using 18 cameras to provide a very high resolution and also stereoscopic. For sure it's not reality, but it's pretty close.
So the viewer, the participant, the person, the customer will experience everything through the HMD. So he doesn't know whether it is video or live stream, or what is the point?
The point is maybe, well, that's way too far. So we're having both worlds. We're having the reality where he sits with the actors without the HMD in the stage.
Yeah.
And then there will be 360 video slots where he puts on the glasses, see about 2-minute slots, take it off and be with the actor again. But in these slots we have filmed the same setting, and but we just put some very abstract and very twisting things in these slots.
So it could actually be a live stream and you never know. Or what is the...
It could have been it could be live streamed, yes, but then where you sit should be the camera, so you wouldn't be in each other's way. And there's stuff happening, like we're adding 3D effects to the video that are not possible to happen in real life.
So then you actually know that this is not reality.
Yeah, but the thing, what I wanted to say about this is, you know, when you're remembering a cinema, a movie you've seen, or you remember a theater play, what you've seen, we want that both worlds kind of merge so with each other that when you remember back, you would know, okay, shit, what was subconsciousness, what was real consciousness. We really want to achieve that. You would know what was real art, you would know that, but still we want to trigger the feeling of, okay, what was real? You know what I mean? This is just a meta concept, not about quality.
You're playing with experience, with memories, with imagination. Okay, so on that level, I see. Thank you.
Without spoiling too much, from the point of storyteller, what kind of enhancement does it give you as a storyteller to use VR in this context?
Actually, in this context, we are putting up an immersive theater. but we're enhancing the, if I can say it like that, we're enhancing the immersive theater with the possibility to have like an exceptional VR world, like an extension or addition to the immersive theater. So this is kind of a strategy that we followed. So we're not making an exclusive VR story, we're doing immersive theater and using VR to give it another viewpoint.
It's so fascinating your skepticism, I mean, positively speaking, that most people who are not into VR ask me, why the fuck all this technique? I go to the mountains and have fun with my friends, why VR? There's so much skepticism still around, or that you ask photorealism. I think it's the friction between reality and what you have in virtual is the most interesting. I never thought so often about the friction between my body and my mind. I don't have hands. Sometimes I have hands, and I don't have the haptic feedback. These kind of friction that we are not there, it's not really there yet. It's the fascinating thing. That's interesting that you asked this. What is the benefit of this?
I don't, it wasn't meant.
No.
I'm very fascinated by the project. It's very interesting, and I was wondering what elements
of the story.
Yeah, and how you use VR in this context.
Okay, sorry, then I got your
Bring up
question
new
wrong.
stories.
Sorry, then I got your question wrong. So actually we're using VR to give aspects to the story that we could not do in reality. So when you're wearing, like we're also calling the VR headset in this case, the subconscious machine. Because in VR you're going to see the same setting, but there will be such a twist and such strange things happen that we cannot produce real time on stage. And this is something abstract that you will see in VR that gives you like a, you know the movie Inception, when you have a world and a world and a world and a world? VR is like a second world of the reality, and we also narrate the classes at the subconscious machine, right? So it is a strategy to and also enhance our topics that we have, the Sekikimori thing, and also the escapism into another world. This is topics that we actually deal with in the play, and we're using the VR as a tool for narrating this somehow.
I think it's a great concept. I think the biggest drawback may be because these escape the room type of experiences, they tend to be very social events. So I think it would be really cool if you could add some social component to this and make it something that 3 or 4 people can do instead of just one person. So have you thought about any ways to make this a social thing instead of just a solo thing?
Definitely. So for our first experiment, the expected thing of Erzogen, it's the way like it is. Like we put up the concept for one person, and like we have the social engagement with the actors, like we have 3 actors talking to you. And in the future, we're definitely we're thinking about the 5 multiplayer solution, and we're thinking about, okay, you should go there as a team and solve things as a team. These are things that are very, very important to us. But this is kind of just the first pilot thing that we're doing, where we decided on things, and yeah. But yeah, you're definitely right. Like there's the social thing is not is something that is placed there for future projects.